So, you want to leave Earth? Space. It's the final frontier. We gaze up at the stars, filled with wonder. What's out there? Could we live on other planets? It's a question that sparks the imagination. Let's be real though. Leaving Earth is no walk in the park. It's a cosmic challenge. Each planet in our solar system is unique. They have their own quirks. Think extreme temperatures, wild weather, and atmospheres you definitely can't breathe. This guide? It's your crash course in planetary survival. Get ready for a wild ride. But first, a reality check. Surviving on these planets requires serious technology. We're talking about life support systems and advanced habitats. The kind of stuff that makes spacesuits look like flip-flops. Ready to explore? Buckle up. We're about to dive into the challenges of 6 incredible planets. From the fiery depths of Venus to the icy plains of Neptune, adventure awaits. Mars, the red planet. It's a popular destination for aspiring space travelers. Why? Well, it's relatively close to Earth. Plus, it has some similarities to our home planet. But don't be fooled. Mars will test your survival skills. First up, the atmosphere. It's thin and mostly carbon dioxide. That means you'll need a constant supply of oxygen. Think of it like carrying a scuba tank everywhere you go. Next, let's talk temperature. The average Martian day might feel balmy compared to a winter in Antarctica. But don't let that fool you. Temperatures can plummet at night, reaching a frigid minus 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's colder than your freezer, by a lot. So pack your long johns and a super-duper insulated spacesuit. You're going to need them. And don't forget about the dust storms. They can engulf the entire planet. Talk about a bad air day. Shelter is critical on Mars. We're talking about specially designed habitats that can withstand the harsh conditions. These futuristic homes will need to be airtight, pressurized, and able to regulate temperature. Oh, and they'll need to protect you from harmful radiation. No pressure, right? But hey, at least the views from your Martian window will be out of this world. Venus, the goddess of love. But this planet, not so romantic. In fact, it's downright deadly. Let's start with the heat. Imagine the hottest day you've ever experienced. Now multiply that by 10, still not even close. Venus has a runaway greenhouse effect. That means the surface temperature can reach a scorching 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Lead, it melts on Venus. Forget about a light jacket. You'll need a high-tech heat shield just to step outside your spaceship. But the heat is only part of the problem. The atmosphere is dense and toxic. Think carbon dioxide with a dash of sulfuric acid rain. Lovely, right? You'll need a spacesuit that can withstand the pressure, the heat, and the corrosive atmosphere. It's like a pressure cooker from hell. So how do you survive on Venus? That's the million-dollar question. Scientists are exploring the possibility of floating cities in the Venusian atmosphere. High above the scorching surface, temperatures are cooler and the pressure is less intense. It might sound crazy, but it could be our best bet for surviving on this infernal planet. Mercury, the smallest planet in our solar system. It's also the closest to the Sun. What does that mean? Extreme temperatures, of course. We're talking scorching hot days that can melt lead. And nights that are colder than a witch's? Well, you get the picture. The lack of a substantial atmosphere means there's no insulation, so the temperature swings are wild. Imagine standing on the surface of Mercury. The sun would dominate the sky, appearing several times larger than it does from Earth. The sunlight would be blindingly bright even through your visor. And the heat? Let's just say you'll be glad you packed your most reflective spacesuit. But here's the kicker. Mercury rotates slowly, really slowly. A single day on Mercury lasts almost twice as long as its year. That means you'd experience months of scorching daylight followed by months of bone-chilling darkness. Talk about extreme living. So how could we possibly survive on Mercury? One idea is to build underground habitats. They could provide protection from the extreme temperatures and intense radiation. Another option is to create mobile bases that could constantly move to stay ahead of the scorching sun. Saturn. Sorry, no surfing allowed. Saturn, the ring giant, is a planet that never fails to amaze. But let's be real. you won't be catching any waves on this gas giant. For starters, there's no solid surface. Saturn is mostly swirling gas and liquids. Think of it like a giant, colorful cloud. You might be wondering, what's it like to fall into a gas giant? Well, imagine descending into a thick fog that gets denser and denser. The pressure would increase and the temperature would rise. You'd be surrounded by swirling clouds of hydrogen and helium. Not exactly a hospitable environment. And let's not forget about the storms. Saturn is home to some of the most powerful storms in the solar system. We're talking wind speeds that make hurricanes look like gentle breezes. These storms can rage for years, creating massive swirling vortexes that could swallow Earth whole. So, unless you have a thing for extreme pressure, toxic gases, and hurricane-force winds, it's best to admire Saturn from a safe distance. Like, really safe. Uranus, the ice giant with a side of hurricane. Uranus, this blue-green planet, is far from ordinary. First, there's the chilly temperature. We're talking about an average of minus 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold enough to freeze methane. And speaking of methane, that's what gives Uranus its distinctive blue-green hue. But don't let the color fool you. This planet is anything but tranquil. Uranus is tilted on its side, like really tilted. This unusual tilt means that one pole experiences constant sunlight, while the other is shrouded in darkness for decades. Talk about extreme seasons. And let's not forget about the wind. Uranus is home to some of the fastest winds in the solar system, reaching speeds of up to 560 miles per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. So if you're thinking of visiting Uranus, pack your warmest parka, a windproof umbrella, and a good book. You're going to be there for a while. Neptune, the 8th planet from the Sun. It's a dark, cold, and incredibly windy place. We're talking about supersonic winds that can reach speeds of over 1,200 miles per hour. That's faster than a fighter jet. These winds whip around the planet, creating massive storms that dwarf Earth in size. One such storm, the Great Dark Spot, was so large that it could have swallowed our entire planet. And let's not forget about the temperature. Neptune's average temperature hovers around minus 370 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold enough to freeze your thoughts. The atmosphere is mostly hydrogen, helium, and methane, with traces of other gases. Not exactly a breathable mix. So how could we possibly survive on a planet with supersonic winds, freezing temperatures, and an unbreathable atmosphere? Well, it wouldn't be easy. We'd need incredibly durable habitats that could withstand the extreme conditions, and we'd need to find a way to harness the planet's resources, such as its abundant methane, to create fuel and other essential materials. Survival on other planets isn't just about spacesuits and oxygen tanks. It's about adaptation and innovation. We'll need to develop new technologies and strategies to overcome the unique challenges of each planet. Think about it. On Mars, we might need to cultivate Martian soil to grow food. On Venus, we might need to create floating cities in the upper atmosphere. And on gas giants like Saturn and Jupiter, we might need to build cloud cities that float in their atmospheres. We'll need to think outside the box and come up with creative solutions to problems we've never encountered before. But that's what makes space exploration so exciting. It pushes the boundaries of human ingenuity and inspires us to think differently. The quest to explore other planets has already driven incredible technological advancements. From the development of rockets to the creation of satellites, space exploration has a ripple effect on our lives here on Earth. Think about it. The technologies we take for granted today, like GPS, weather forecasting, and satellite communication, were all made possible by space exploration. And as we continue to explore the cosmos, we're bound to make even more groundbreaking discoveries that will benefit humanity. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe we'll develop new energy sources, new medical treatments, or even new forms of transportation, all thanks to our pursuit of the stars. So, there you have it. A glimpse into the challenges of surviving on other planets. From the scorching heat of Venus to the supersonic winds of Neptune, each planet presents its own unique set of obstacles. But one thing's for sure, the human spirit of exploration is undeterred. We're constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible, seeking to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos. As we venture further into space, we'll need to rely on our ingenuity, our creativity, and our unwavering determination. We'll need to adapt to new environments, develop new technologies, and find new ways to thrive in the face of adversity. The final frontier awaits. But before we set off on this grand adventure, let's continue to learn, to explore, and to imagine the possibilities that lie beyond our pale blue dot.